Hi, it's Danielle. Welcome to my perfume journal. So, for a while, I have been setting a weekly perfume tray, a habit that I have come to really enjoy every Sunday as I prepare for the week ahead. But for 2026, I decided to try something a little bit different. A monthly perfume tray. I know that over the course of each week, there are some perfumes that I am going to reach for again and again, but there are many more treasures to be enjoyed on my perfume shelves. So this year, I thought I'd try to choose perfumes from each section of my perfume cabinet to place on my tray each month with the intention of wearing every single one of them at least once. This way, I am sure to give some attention to the perfumes that might get overlooked because I keep reaching for my favorites every week. So, over the course of a month, I think I can certainly wear each perfume on my tray at least once. So, let's start with the florals on the tray. This is Blanc from Courrèges, which is a super duper affordable gem. A lot of the Courrèges perfumes go for quite a pretty penny on niche perfume sites, but for some reason, this one is huge value for money. It can be found for about $20 on the gray market. This is a very straightforward powdery floral, lots and lots of iris and two types of rose. There's grass rose and Turkish rose in this. Then there's some heliotrope, white musk, and some light blonde woods. And there's just a teeny, teeny, tiny bit of fruitiness here from some lychee, but only a little bit. This perfume does not venture into like fruity floral territory. It's just a lovely, clean, powdery scent that lasts all day and comes in this amazing 70s style bottle, which I just love. Then we have Rose Extase from Nina Ricci. This is a discontinued gem that you can still find secondhand. And if you are very patient, like I was, you can definitely find it at a great price. I think I paid around $25 for this bottle. So I am putting this side by side with Blanc from Courrèges because I want to compare them a bit more closely as they smell quite alike, where Blanc is more powdery and almost dry. Rose Extase smells like raspberry rose milk. It very much smells like the color of the bottle, sort of a pale rosy pink. And I just love rose and vanilla together. And this perfume is the best perfume version of that combination that I found, though I do really, really love Bath and Body Works whipped rose and vanilla. It is sweeter than Rose Extase and it is excellent at bedtime. But for the month of January, I'm going to give Rose Extase at least one wear. And keeping with the rose theme, I am adding La Petite Robe Noire Black Perfecto to my tray. One of the things I really love about being a part of the fragrance community online is that now so many perfumes remind me of some of my very favorite people here. And this perfume always, always reminds me of the wonderful Claire Smith. She loves this perfume and often says it is one of the perfumes that is most her. And this perfume came into my collection on her recommendation. And so whenever I wear it, I think of her, and that makes me very happy. So I might actually have to make a video of all the perfumes that remind me of my Fragcom people. There's quite a few now, and that would be kind of a fun video to make. Anyway, this perfume is indeed the little black dress styled by Guerlain, but make it a leather dress. So this is roses, almond, patchouli, tonka, and leather. It is that gorgeous powdery tonka that Guerlain does so well against the leather that makes this perfume feel so soft and supple. This is not your new car leather or a stiff leather jacket. This is a buttery leather, which goes so well with the petally roses and the nutty almond. It is an absolute winner. In the big red cube, Narciso Rouge, a deeply musky rose iris with tonka and a touch of woodiness. The heart of this perfume, of course, is that thick, doughy, but also fluffy, pillowy Narciso musk. That musk is so unique in the way that it manages to be both ethereal but also substantive. And then the rose and the iris give this cube flanker a very lipsticky quality, which I love. It's like a creamy French red lipstick dripping in that Narciso musk. A total stunner. And then moving into soapier florals, I'm going to put Crystal Noir EDT on the tray. This is the perfume that launched a thousand arguments about notes online. So the Versace website says that this perfume in the EDT and the parfum concentration is cardamom, pepper, ginger, gardenia, peony, orange blossom, amber, sandalwood, and musk. While everyone seems to agree on most of these notes, I do see fig and coconut thrown around a lot when this perfume is described, and I totally see why. There is this sweet creaminess to this perfume that like balances out the soapiness of the gardenia, and it makes this whole perfume so intoxicating and so unique. It is an incredible Antoine Lee creation, and I love to wear this in the winter, most especially. Okay, next some woody perfumes. So first we have Peau de Soie from Philippe Starck, who is much better known for furniture and industrial design than fragrances, which is probably why he engaged Dominique Ropion to bring his vision for this scent to life. So the copy on this perfume is very dramatic. It's an homage to the mysterious nature of women. There are these like very flowery words in the description about like the space between the surface and the core. And let me tell you what, I would love to write perfume copy. That would be like the most fun job. I would write like the most out of pocket nonsense, or I would love to like come up with the note lists for Bath and Body Works because they are also always unbelievably dramatic with things like gilded sparkling currants and like fuzzy fluffed rose petals. Honestly, that would be like my dream job. Okay, anyway, I stumbled on this perfume during one of my hyperfixation deep dives on Parfuma one day, and this caught my eye. So I started searching secondhand and I found a bottle at a great price. So, yes, this is a woody iris skin scent at its core, but there's something really wonderfully aromatic about this that sets it apart from other woody skin scents. Starck is like all mysterious and doesn't list the notes for this, but I suspect that there's some lavender, maybe some clary sage, and then there's something sort of like piquantly green in this as well. Might be some rosemary, but it's all like very light. It's never heavy or oppressive. And I often call this the perfume version of Starck's famous ghost chair, which takes a classic Louis XV style chair, which would normally be like a very heavy wooden piece, and reimagines it in lucite, making it a very light, almost wispy piece of furniture. And then the same is true of this perfume. Dominique Ropion takes elements that could be heavy and weighty and turns them into something that is just airily wonderful. So sometimes I just want to smell like an old church. And for that, we have Sacreste from Laboratorio Olfattivo. So normally I prefer my incense to be like steeped in Catholicism, like a deep resinous frankincense wafting out of the thurible, permeating the old stone and the wooden pews. And so with Sacreste, you have that, but put the church outside in a pine forest in winter. There is a green and kind of cold quality to this perfume that makes it a little bit different from some of my other churchy incense perfumes. And I think that will make it perfect in this often bitterly cold month. And then we have the awesome Hot from Benetton, a super duper cheapie that does not smell cheap at all to me. This huge bottle was like $10 or $12, maybe even less, and it smells almost exactly like Chanel's Allure. It is mostly woody. It's rosewood, sandalwood, cedarwood with some bright citruses up top, some jasmine, maybe some like peachy osmanthus in the mid, and then it has this oak mossy dry down that almost makes it like chypre-ish in its structure. It is so good, so cozy and warm. And really, the comparison to Allure is uncanny. It's not as strong as Allure, but it is pretty close and well worth the bargain price that I paid for it. I'm going to put one gourmand on my tray, Kabuki No. 9 from TokyoMilk. This is a perfume that has gone very long ignored on my shelf, so I definitely need to change that. Kabuki is very sweet, super sweet. It smells mostly like simple syrup to me, but you can pull out the lychee, the grapefruit, the jasmine. In the summer, I make a basil simple syrup that tastes amazing in sparkling water with some strawberries. And this perfume sort of reminds me of that, but make it a fruity jasmine instead of basil. There is nothing really complex or serious about this. It just smells very sweetly pretty. And this little bottle is plenty because you only need a spray or two, or else it definitely can get a little bit cloying. I definitely want to give my vintages some more love. I keep them in a drawer in my perfume cabinet, which is already dark to protect the perfumes, but the drawer is like an extra layer of darkness for my little treasures. But I don't have the vintages just to look at them. I do wear them. And this month it's going to be Bijan, one of my signature scents from the 1980s. And as I'm making this video, it is actually my scent of the day. So Bijan is essentially a sweet, powdery floral with a mossy, woody base. And to me, the sweetness in this perfume smells almost honeyed, even though I don't think that there is a honey note in this. This is golden age of the 80s florals. It's ylang ylang and jasmine and rose. And then there's that unmistakable oak mossy sandalwood base that was the mainstay of 80s perfumes. This is a powdery floral that is not shy. It makes an entrance. This is not a wallflower. And then the bottle is one of my all-time favorites from the decade. This ginormous, almost like cartoonish take on an engagement ring. I adore this perfume. When it comes to vintages, this is in my top 10. Last one, a fresh perfume for when those like cold, dark days have me in the doldrums. We're going to go with L'Imperatrice from Dolce & Gabbana. I love this perfume because it reminds me of the syrup in Dole fruit cups, the kind that you'd have in your lunchbox as a kid. It's juicy, juicy watermelon, kiwi, crisp rhubarb, and some pink florals. And I think what I love about this perfume the most is that it's fruity without going shampoo-y. It's true fruit cup. It's just so tasty and delicious smelling. It's a perfume that just puts me in a good mood. It brightens my day, puts a little pep in my step. This is a perfume that makes me feel young again without smelling childish. Okay, so this is my perfume tray for January. I will report back at the end of the month when I make my most worn video and let you know if I kept to my intention to wear all of these perfumes at least once. And I think this will be a fun new way to enjoy setting my perfume trays this year. I really like changing up my habits and my practices with my perfumes. It's another way that I enjoy this hobby so much and that I enjoy wearing my own collection without feeling like I have to keep up with the latest releases. And I would really love to hear what you are planning on wearing this month from your own collections. So thank you so much for watching, for spending your time here with me, and for chatting perfumes with me in the comments. I hope you have a spectacular day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.